Change does not knock on the door politely. It breaks in. It shows up uninvited. It rearranges your life while you're still trying to understand what happened. One day you're comfortable, confident, certain. And the next day the rules are different, the ground has shifted, and what used to work no longer does. Most people don't fail because they are weak. They fail because they cling to what used to be familiar. They hold on to old skills, old habits, old identities, hoping the world will slow down for them. But the world never waits. Technology doesn't wait. Competition doesn't wait. Opportunity doesn't wait. Life keeps moving, and it rewards only those who are willing to move with it. Right now, change is happening faster than ever before. Jobs are disappearing. New careers are being created. Artificial intelligence is rewriting industries. Entire business models are being replaced overnight. And in the middle of all this chaos, there are two types of people: those who panic and those who prepare. Adaptability is not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the most flexible. It's not about having all the answers. It's about being willing to learn new ones. The people who win in this era are not the ones with perfect plans. They are the ones who can adjust when the plan falls apart. Every breakthrough you admire came after someone decided to change. Every success story you study is built on reinvention. The entrepreneur who failed before succeeding. The athlete who changed their training after losing. The professional who learned a new skill when their old one became obsolete. Growth has always demanded discomfort. Comfort feels safe, but comfort is expensive. It costs you growth. It costs you relevance. It costs you the future you say you want but are unwilling to change for. The moment you choose comfort over challenge, you begin to fall behind without even realizing it. Adaptability starts with honesty. Honest about where you are. Honest about what is no longer working. Honest about the skills you lack, the habits that hold you back, and the excuses you've been protecting. Because excuses feel good in the moment, but they quietly steal your potential. The most dangerous sentence you can say is, "This is how I've always done it." That sentence has buried more dreams than failure ever could. The world doesn't care how long you've been doing something. It only responds to what you can do now and how fast you can learn what's next. Fear will show up when change arrives. Fear of starting over. Fear of looking foolish. Fear of failing publicly. But fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal. It's a sign that you are standing at the edge of growth. Everything you want is on the other side of that resistance. Adaptable people don't wait for permission. They don't wait until they feel ready. They don't wait until the timing is perfect. They move while learning. They learn while failing. They fail forward. They understand that speed of learning is more important than speed of success. You don't need to know everything to take the next step. You only need the courage to take it. Progress has never required perfection. It requires participation. The willingness to say, "I don't know yet, but I'm willing to learn." Change will test your identity. It will ask you to let go of who you used to become who you must become. That process is uncomfortable. It feels like loss before it feels like growth. But staying the same in a world that is evolving is the greatest risk of all. Right now, somewhere, someone with fewer resources than you is adapting faster. They are learning after work. They are upgrading their mindset. They are reinventing themselves while others are complaining. They understand that the future belongs to those who prepare for it, not those who fear it. Adaptability is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Every time you learn a new skill, you expand your confidence. Every time you step into uncertainty, you increase your resilience. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you reclaim control over your future. The world will continue to change. That is not a problem to solve. It is a reality to master. And the question is not whether change will come. The question is whether you will rise with it or be buried by it. Because in this era, talent alone is not enough. Hard work alone is not enough. Intelligence alone is not enough. The ultimate advantage, the real superpower, is the ability to adapt. Change is not something you can avoid, delay, or negotiate with. It arrives whether you are prepared or not. Economies shift, industries evolve, technology advances, and personal circumstances transform without asking for permission. Many people spend their lives waiting for things to settle down, believing that once stability returns, they will finally take action. But the truth is, stability is temporary, and uncertainty is the new normal. What separates those who move forward from those who fall behind is not intelligence, luck, or background. It is the decision to adapt. Adaptation is an active choice, not a passive event. When change occurs, some people freeze, hoping the situation will reverse. Others complain, blame, or resist, wasting valuable time and energy. And then there are those who observe, adjust, and reposition themselves to meet the new reality. History proves this over and over again. Entire companies disappeared, not because they lacked resources, but because they refused to change their ways. Individuals lost relevance, not because they were incapable, but because they held on to outdated skills and mindsets. Change does not punish you for who you are. It exposes what you are unwilling to become. Adaptation requires awareness. It begins by recognizing when the old methods no longer work. This awareness can be uncomfortable because it challenges your identity and your sense of competence. It forces you to admit that what once made you successful may no longer be enough. But growth has never been comfortable, and transformation always starts with honesty. Choosing to adapt also means taking responsibility. It means understanding that while you cannot control what happens around you, you can control how you respond. You may not control economic shifts, technological disruption, or unexpected setbacks, but you do control your willingness to learn, adjust, and evolve. Responsibility restores power, while resistance quietly takes it away. Adaptation is not about changing everything at once. It is about making intentional shifts, learning one new skill, changing one habit, upgrading one belief at a time. These small decisions compound into massive transformation over time. People who adapt early gain momentum, while those who delay are forced to rush later under pressure. Every moment of change presents a crossroads. One path leads to growth, relevance, and opportunity. The other leads to stagnation, frustration, and regret. The difference between these paths is not circumstance. It is choice. Comfort is deceptive. It feels like safety, stability, and control. But beneath the surface, it slowly limits your potential. Comfort convinces you that where you are is good enough, that there is no urgency to grow, and that tomorrow will always give you another chance. Over time, this mindset quietly shrinks ambition and weakens discipline. Most people don't realize they are stuck because nothing feels wrong. Their routines work, their income is predictable, their skills still function. But comfort does not warn you before it becomes dangerous. It allows the world to move forward while you stay in the same place. By the time the gap becomes visible, catching up feels overwhelming. Growth has always demanded pressure. Every meaningful improvement in life begins when you are pushed beyond what is familiar. Muscles grow by resistance. Skills develop through challenge. Confidence is built by doing things you once thought you couldn't do. Comfort removes resistance, and without resistance, there is no growth. The problem with comfort is not rest, it is permanence. Rest is necessary for recovery, but when rest turns into avoidance, it becomes a trap. People confuse being busy with being productive and being comfortable with being secure. In reality, security comes from adaptability, not familiarity. Comfort also affects decision-making. When things feel good enough, urgency disappears. Learning is postponed, risks are avoided. Opportunities are ignored because they require effort, humility, or uncertainty. Over time, this creates a gap between where you are and where you could have been if you had acted earlier. History favors those who chose discomfort intentionally. The student who studied while others relaxed. The entrepreneur who invested time learning new systems while competitors relied on old methods. The professional who volunteered for challenges instead of staying invisible. They were not special. They were simply willing to be uncomfortable before they were forced to be. Discomfort is a signal that growth is near. It means you are stretching beyond old limits. It means you are entering unfamiliar territory where learning happens. While comfort protects the present, discomfort prepares the future. Every breakthrough begins with a decision to leave what feels safe. The moment you challenge routine, question habits, and push beyond ease, momentum shifts. Growth does not announce itself loudly, but it always begins when comfort is challenged. Talent is valuable, but it is not permanent. What you are naturally good at today may not be what the world rewards tomorrow. Industries evolve, tools change, and standards rise. Many talented people struggle not because they lack ability, but because they rely too heavily on what once worked for them. Talent can open doors, but it cannot keep them open if it refuses to evolve. Adaptability is the ability to adjust your skills, mindset, and behavior as conditions change. It allows you to stay relevant even when your original strengths lose demand. In a rapidly changing world, relevance matters more than raw ability. Those who adapt continue to grow, while those who rely solely on talent eventually plateau. History is filled with examples of highly talented individuals who were surpassed by others who were simply more willing to learn. The person who studies consistently will outperform the gifted individual who stops improving. The worker who upgrades their skills will outlast the expert who refuses to change. Adaptability turns effort into longevity. Talent often creates comfort. When something comes easily, there is less motivation to improve it. This comfort can quietly slow growth. Adaptable people, on the other hand, assume that what they know today will need to be updated tomorrow. They stay curious. They seek feedback. They remain students regardless of how successful they become. Adaptability also shapes mindset. Talented individuals may avoid challenges that threaten their identity, while adaptable individuals welcome challenges as opportunities to expand. Instead of asking, "What am I good at?" they ask, "What is needed now?" This shift allows them to align their abilities with current demands. In professional life, employers value those who can learn quickly, handle change, and solve new problems. Skills expire faster than ever before. Adaptable individuals are not defined by a single strength. They build multiple competencies over time. This makes them harder to replace and more valuable in uncertain environments. Adaptability also strengthens resilience. When setbacks occur, adaptable people adjust their approach instead of giving up. They view failure as information, not identity. Talent may help you start strong, but adaptability determines how long you can stay in the game. In the long run, the winners are not always the most gifted, but the most flexible. Those who survive disruption, reinvent themselves, and stay open to learning continue to move forward, while others are left relying on past success. Fear is one of the most misunderstood emotions. Many people treat it as a warning to retreat, a signal that something is too risky, too dangerous, or too difficult. They let fear dictate their choices, avoid challenges, and settle for safety. But in reality, fear is rarely an enemy. It is a signal, a compass pointing toward the areas where growth, opportunity, and transformation are waiting. Fear appears whenever you step outside your comfort zone. It rises before a new opportunity, a bold decision, or a significant change. It whispers that you might fail, that you might look foolish, or that you might lose something familiar. Most people respond by pausing, hesitating, or turning back. They treat fear as a stop sign when it is actually a signal to move forward. Every success story, every breakthrough, every life-changing achievement contains moments of fear. The entrepreneur who launched a startup felt the fear of financial loss. The speaker who delivered a powerful message for the first time felt the fear of rejection. The student who pursued a challenging path felt the fear of inadequacy. In every case, the people who succeeded acknowledged fear, but did not allow it to paralyze them. Fear is also a reflection of what matters to you. The things that scare you most often point directly to areas where growth will have the greatest impact. If fear is present, it usually means that the opportunity is meaningful. Running from fear may feel safe in the short term, but it comes at the cost of potential, confidence, and long-term fulfillment. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is action in spite of it. People who embrace fear as a signal learn to move forward deliberately rather than blindly or not at all. They prepare, they plan, and they step carefully, but they do not retreat. They treat fear as a teacher, not a jailer. Moreover, fear has a way of shrinking over time when faced repeatedly. The first time you confront something that scares you, the anxiety may feel overwhelming. But each successive encounter builds confidence, reduces uncertainty, and strengthens your ability to act. Fear is not permanent. It is a challenge designed to sharpen your resolve. Recognizing fear as a signal also changes your perspective on failure. When fear warns of potential mistakes, it encourages caution without discouraging action. Adaptable, successful people use fear as a guide to prepare better, anticipate problems, and grow stronger. In this way, fear becomes a tool for decision-making and progress, not a barrier. The key is to notice fear, understand its message, and then act anyway. Fear is not the enemy of success. It is often the gateway. In today's fast-moving world, what you know today may not be enough tomorrow. Industries evolve, technologies advance, and opportunities appear and vanish in the blink of an eye. The difference between those who thrive and those who fall behind is not always raw talent or intelligence. It is the speed at which they learn, adapt, and apply new knowledge. Learning quickly has become the ultimate competitive advantage. Speed of learning is not about memorizing information or accumulating credentials. It is about observing, understanding, and implementing insights faster than others. It is the ability to take lessons from mistakes, successes, and experiences, and then adjust your actions immediately. Those who can process new information, apply it effectively, and pivot when necessary move ahead while others are still catching up. The pace of life has changed dramatically. Technologies like artificial intelligence, automation, and digital communication are transforming how people work, communicate, and solve problems. Jobs that existed yesterday may be obsolete tomorrow. Skills that were valuable last year may not even be relevant next year. In this environment, adaptability alone is not sufficient. You must also learn rapidly to stay ahead. Rapid learning requires humility and curiosity. It demands admitting that you do not know everything and that every situation is an opportunity to grow. People who believe they have nothing left to learn become stagnant. Those who remain curious, ask questions, seek feedback, and explore new ideas continuously expand their capacity for success. Failure is inevitable, but speed of learning turns failure into progress. When mistakes happen, the key is not avoiding them. It is extracting lessons quickly and applying them before the opportunity passes. The faster you learn, the faster you recover, improve, and move forward. This cycle of rapid learning and adjustment creates momentum that multiplies over time. Speed of learning also shapes decision-making. People who learn quickly make informed choices sooner. They identify patterns faster, anticipate challenges, and seize opportunities before others recognize them. In high-pressure situations, this ability separates leaders from followers, innovators from imitators, and winners from those left behind. Continuous, rapid learning requires consistent action. It means reading, observing, experimenting, and reflecting every day. It means being intentional about growth and refusing to wait for perfect conditions. Those who treat learning as a lifelong habit gain a compounding advantage. Each new skill builds on the last, each insight informs the next, and each decision strengthens their trajectory. In this era, knowledge alone is not enough. Skills alone are not enough. The true differentiator is how quickly you can learn, adapt, and apply what you learn to stay relevant, competitive, and ahead of the curve. So, what does this mean for you? It means the choice is always yours. You can cling to comfort, hide from fear, rely solely on talent, and hope the world waits for you. Or you can decide today to embrace change, to be flexible, to learn faster than ever before, and to move forward even when it feels uncomfortable. The world will continue to evolve. Opportunities will come and go, and challenges will appear without warning. But the people who thrive are not the ones who wish for easier circumstances. They are the ones who take control of their response, who act with courage in the face of fear, who adapt faster than anyone else, and who commit to growth every single day. Change is not the enemy. Fear is not a stop sign. Comfort is not safety. Talent is not enough. The true superpower is adaptability. The ability to see the world as it is, adjust, learn, and move forward. Today, choose to be the person who adapts. Choose to grow. Choose to rise above fear, break free from comfort, and harness your talent with relentless learning. The future does not wait, and neither should you. Adapt or be left behind. The choice is yours.